I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be looking at, is he a narcissist?
Oh.
So, a lot of times, narcissistic people will come into our lives and just completely cause an upheaval on everything and turn our lives upside down. And it can be difficult to spot them, especially in the beginning,
right? Because
we're so overwhelmed by how great they make us feel. Because in the beginning, the narcissists often tell you how great you are. They make you feel amazing. And they call it love bombing, right?
Yep.
And so, you're in this situation where you're just getting so overwhelmed and you just feel so good around them that you kind of overlook all the red flags.
And they have learned to be very charming.
Yes. I remember in grad school, that's one of the things that one of my professors told me, that if you meet somebody that's very charming, look out.
Look out. If they're really, really charming, look out.
Yeah.
Because you may find out they only have one subject. And what would that subject be?
Them.
Yeah.
So, we got an email here that I think is going to be helpful because you're going to see some of the behaviors that a narcissist would do. And that way you can say, okay, is this relevant to my situation? Because I suspect my person might be a narcissist. And, you have to understand that somebody that is a narcissist, it's because in their very early childhood, when they were infants really, they never attached to their mother. You want to expand upon that?
Well, they don't attach properly or all the way to their mother, which may mean that mother didn't pick them up enough, mother didn't feed them regularly, there was chaos in the household and mother was distracted. All kinds of things can happen, particularly in a somewhat dysfunctional family. I mean, family emergencies can happen. I remember one family where another child was hit by a car and the mother was unavailable, or they could be caring for an elderly parent. Not all the things that happen are blatantly a parent's fault, but the kids that are picked up enough, cooed at enough, and fed regularly don't turn out to be a narcissist or a borderline.
Yeah. But it really is incredibly powerful to see how those first 2 years directly impact your ability to relate and your own mental health.
Yes, it's amazing.
I used to argue with Margaret for years about it because I couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
But over time, I started to really, look at things and see the correlation, and it is absolutely there.
Yeah, it is absolutely there. And a narcissist is in a terrible situation. They have concluded that they're on their own. When they were little, and waited for people to come and help them, it didn't happen. So they decide that they're alone in this world, and they're going to have to be self-sufficient. So even though, like everyone else, they want relationships, they're too afraid to take it. They're not used to it. And if you try to help a narcissist, they have no idea what to do because they've concluded that there is no help anywhere. You're on your own.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's get to this email. I think you guys are going to help find this one helpful. This was a couple in their 40s, but they weren't really a couple. Okay, and they were only talking for 4 months. And are you ready to get into this one? Because it's really complicated from the get-go. So they met through a common friend on Instagram, and they had a discussion about women empowerment and some kind of forum about that. And our friend had put together a Facebook chat. So they started talking on Facebook. Now, they are both married to other people. Okay? So, she goes on to say, he has been married for 2 years. I have been married for 10 years. Me and my husband are already in agreement that we're living separate lives, but will continue to live in the same house until our son is older. You want to share any thoughts on that part?
Yeah, well, we're doing it for the children. It's a phrase that we're all very, very aware of. And, is it nice for the child to have both parents on the premises? Yes, it is. But if you think you're going to fool a child into thinking everything's normal in the family, you're not.
No.
My experience doing therapy for years is the kids would come in, tell me what was really going on in the family, and I knew to see them first. And then the parents would come in and say, the kids don't know anything about it. Yes, they do.
Oh, yes, they do. They know a lot more than you think.
More than you're telling me, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. She goes on to say his father was in the military and they had a tough childhood during the war. I don't know what...
Which war was that?
I don't know. He has no affinity towards his father. He believes his father is jealous of him. He is extremely close to his mother.
Uh-huh.
What does that tell you?
It tells me good luck. His relationships with women are strange.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wonder what his father did to him.
I don't know. Okay. She said, we didn't break up exactly. We just started growing distant and pulling back, and I was giving him space. Our relationship was more of a chat one day due to the fact they were both married. But since we lived in the same area when we were young and had the same circle of friends our entire lives and had never met, he believed we were destined to be together.
Oh, that's a hard one. Mm-hmm. The minute you get destiny into it, then you almost feel guilty not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Something narcissists are very good at.
Now, this is where it's getting interesting. She says, he would always tell me, don't fight destiny, because I tried to break up a few times. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind is, how are you in a relationship? You're both married to other people, and maybe while you're living separate lives from your husband, he's still in a relationship with his wife.
With young children, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, I don't know that destiny does these things. You got to be careful with destiny. You never know what she's going to do.
Yes, you have to be very careful with words like destiny, soulmate,
it's kind of
twin flame.
But it's kind of a manipulation already.
Oh, exactly.
Don't fight destiny.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
And that's exactly what I told her in the email coaching. That sounds manipulative.
Yeah, you'll disturb the universe if you mess with destiny.
Mm-hmm. In other words, it doesn't matter how you feel about us.
That's right.
Or what's going on between us. You shouldn't fight this. And it's a very dismissive thing to say.
Yeah, I think so too.
Don't fight destiny. It's almost like, I don't care what you have to say. This is destiny. It doesn't matter what you have to say.
Right.
So, doesn't feel right to me.
Me either.
He always said he had a lot on a plate. He had a business and is pursuing a degree and has young children. He's overwhelmed with work. From day one, we agreed that we should not have any expectations and that we would not ask each other for more than we can give now. One day, he asked me if we can work on being together. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
In 10 years.
Oh, well, you better start preparing now.
This way, our children would be older and it would be easier to leave.
Excuse me, but I'm now tying you up for the next 10 years because destiny said you should wait that long for me.
10 years.
10 years.
Absolutely insane.
Yes, it is.
And it's infuriating that somebody would think that you're going to put your life on hold for 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
You're separated from your husband by that point, and he's still with his wife for 10 years?
Yeah, you should live with that. I'm worth it.
And not only that, but implying that it would be okay to cheat on his wife for 10 years.
For 10 years, right. That's the part that's really disturbing to me. He's not just cheating on his wife, he's cheating on his kids in a way. He's pretending to be somebody he isn't.
Yeah.
In a situation that he isn't. Unbelievable.
Right?
Absolutely.
Feels very narcissistic to me.
Yes, to me too.
The more intense our relationship was, the more he started distancing himself. When we were together, he was completely with me, full of love always. even after we left each other. He would immediately send me love messages. He always says he loves me every day. Also, that he believed I was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. But also, that we are in such a complex place that us scares him.
Scares him? Well, you can tell him that waiting 10 years scares you.
I mean, he just sounds so full of it.
Yes, he does.
Everything he's saying is like preying upon you.
Yeah.
All these words that he's telling you, love messages, you're the most beautiful woman in the world I've ever seen. I mean, he's got this poor woman so excited about all of these things.
And 2 years ago, he married someone else.
He probably told her the same things.
That's what I'm thinking.
He might still be telling her those things.
You better not insert the wrong name.
Exactly. He also used to say that he's jealous of my husband, although he had never been jealous in his life before, and that I am his weakness.
I would not be amused to be called a weakness. No, I am a decision you have made and continue to act on. I'm not a weakness.
Could you imagine if this woman did wait on this guy for 9.5 years, and then the 10th year, like, he got hit by a meteor?
That would just be her luck. Yeah, right.
Or all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like, something happens.
Yeah, I waited 10 years for you, and you changed your mind.
You got struck by lightning?
Yeah.
But ridiculous. Just awful what he's doing here. He would constantly get on Facebook and check to see if I was online, and check my pictures. This was according to what he would tell me every time we stopped talking for a few days. So he was
sure if he wasn't talking to her, she was out looking for somebody else.
Yeah.
Well.
At the same time, he would disappear for hours. After I texted him, he would wait to respond. Until one point, I told him that I need consistency in our relationship. I don't want anything except consistently. He's consistent, all right.
Yeah.
Consistently ignoring you and putting you on hold while he lives his life. He asked for a coffee a few days later and told me that he adored me, but he couldn't give me consistency at this point in his life.
Or anybody else. Well, I mean, you figure he's working full-time in a new business. He's going to school. He has a wife and a girlfriend, and we don't know how many kids or how old.
Yeah. Young kids. He's got 2 young kids.
He'd have to. He's been married for 2 years. No.
The next day, I sent him a text message saying I love him, but I can't deal with his inconsistencies. If he is less busy one day, maybe we can reconnect. We went on no contact for 2 weeks. Then one day he texted me that he saw my brother and that he misses me a lot.
So she broke up with him?
No, she didn't say she broke up. Well, she kind of gave him an ultimatum, and then he said, no, I can't do it.
Right.
So it was kind of his decision. We talked on and off after that for a couple of times. One of his friends added me on Facebook, and I asked him, but I felt he wasn't happy with the idea of adding me, so he asked me, how many people add you on Facebook each week? I told him a lot, but I don't respond to them unless I know them.
I'm glad she said a lot, however.
Yeah, so that'll make him wonder, right? His friend added me for work relation query, but I didn't tell him that. I just told him that he added me, not that I accepted. After that, we didn't talk at all. 2 days ago, his friend liked 2 of my pictures, and all of a sudden, he unfriends me. I am 100% certain it was because of that.
Because she liked 2 of his friends' pictures?
No, the other way around. The
guy liked 2 of her pictures.
Yeah, like 2 of her pictures.
Well, that certainly means she's cheating.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you define cheating here. On whom?
Meanwhile, he has a wife and doesn't want to be with you for 10 years. But 2 people or one person liked 2 of your pictures. And he unfriends you for that.
Yeah.
This is what I sent him after he unfriended me, but he hasn't even read the message. He might have deleted it without even reading it. Oof, he's so angry at her. And she didn't even do anything. So, you know how I have the sidebar chat that shows all the online contacts, and obviously I noticed you weren't there. But knowing that you unfriended me made me feel really surprised. Are you okay? Anything I need to know about this? Can I trust you to answer me this and tell me the truth just for me to understand what happened?
Probably not.
Exactly. I thought we wouldn't do that to each other. Was I wrong? And I also thought we do this over coffee like you always like to. By the way, I might know what happened, and if it is what I think it is, then I feel really disappointed because you know me better than that and you know my feelings without ever doubting them. Okay. She asks, after unfriending me and him being so stubborn, is there any way we might be able to reconnect and get things back to how they were without me needing to make an effort? Because I really believe I have already done a lot. I know in my gut that his feelings for me are extremely powerful, as are mine. I feel extremely attached to him, and his unfriending me was such a punch in the gut, I cannot get over how bad I feel.
My goodness.
Yes. Okay. Well, this guy sounds absolutely selfish and narcissistic.
Yes, he does.
And quite honestly, I don't believe a word out of his mouth.
No, nor do I.
I think that he just told you everything that you wanted to hear, gets your hopes up, gets you excited, promises all these things, but then says you have to wait 10 years for it. That is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever heard from anybody saying, wait 10 years.
And I can't give you any consistency either over the 10 years.
Yeah, no consistency, no nothing.
But I'll worry about who you see.
Yes, and yet be extremely upset to the point where he can't even say anything, just unfriends her and then doesn't respond to her message. You know, I think this guy is in whatever kind of relationship he is with his wife and doesn't really care about this woman, nor really anybody, because obviously doesn't care about even cheating on his wife for 10 years.
And he doesn't even mention the children.
Yeah.
You don't know how old they are.
He just, yeah.
And he doesn't mention his wife at all.
No, really.
Not once.
No.
No.
Not that I can't do this.
My
I'm
wife
conflicted.
is really sweet. I feel really bad. No.
No sense of guilt, no sense of remorse into how he hurts anybody or doesn't care.
Well, this woman is meeting his needs right now, so he adores her.
Yeah.
Don't count on it, honey.
I would not try to work it out with this guy. There's no way. I think he was a fantasy. He was promising you all these things that you were so hoping that he could give,
yeah.
But I don't see any ability for him to do that.
I don't either.
I mean, certainly if he was serious about the situation, he wouldn't say, let's work on getting together in 10 years because our children would be older. No, he would be saying, let's give me a couple months here to start to iron things out and talk about things because I really want to be with you. He's not done any of that.
No, he hasn't. And she's at least in a more honest position.
Yes.
Where she and her husband are living separately. So at least she's been fair to him. We have no idea how old her children are.
No, we don't know how old the children are. All we know is that he hasn't shown any ability with his actions that he is going to be a good partner. In fact, he flat out told you he can't do it. Right?
Did he?
Well, he said it when they went for coffee, I can't give you consistency.
I can't give you consistency. That's exactly right. He did say it.
So
Yeah.
that's about as upfront as he's been.
But, she has at least mentioned care and concern for her husband with whom she was honest and for her children. They were going to try to do the right thing by the children.
Mm-hmm.
This guy doesn't even mention anybody else.
No.
No.
Not based on what she said here.
Only himself.
And that the whole idea
Only
of
himself.
the us scares him. Remember that?
I bet it does.
You know?
With him, there's not going to be an us, I don't think.
It's only me.
It's me. Me, myself, and I.
Oh my goodness. And not for nothing, you need to think about, I mean, not that it's your responsibility, but this man has a wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
And shouldn't you be evaluating and thinking about, well, if he's able to do that to them, what would he do to me, at the very least?
And he's not even owning it. He's saying, well, you're my weakness.
Yes, and don't worry about how you feel.
It's how
It's your destiny to be with me, right?
Right. I decided that. It's your destiny to be with me. Don't argue with it. There's some supernatural force at work here.
That felt like another...
And narcissists, they say, will try to keep people in the position where they have them, where it's familiar, where they can get to them, where they can get the emotional resources, and fight anything they might do to change that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I agree.
So...
Lady. Yeah.
Even if he's not a complete narcissist, let's just say he certainly exhibits a lot of traits.
Yeah.
Enough where both of us would definitely say, walk away.
Walk away. No, run.
Yeah. This situation doesn't show any stability other than him being able to make you feel good in the moment, saying things, but then he doesn't back it up with his actions. So obviously, if you find yourself in a situation like this, you really need to reevaluate what's going on and the reality of the situation. Are you going to be played? Are you going to get hurt? Because anytime you're in a relationship, you're risking heartbreak.
Yes, anytime. Absolutely right.
So this was a really tough, complicated story, but I hope that it helped you guys and it helps you really see what narcissistic behavior can look like in a relationship. And of course, if you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching, I do Skype. Margaret is also available for Skype coaching.
Feel free to sign up with me. I'll be delighted to talk with you.
And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we are now podcasting, so just search on any of the major podcast platforms for me, and you'll find a bunch of episodes up there now. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.